2024 ABCA National Player of the Year and arguably the best player so far this season as well. Junior opposite hitter Olivia Babcock. Hello, Olivia. I'm so excited to talk a little volleyball with you. I want to start with talking about your dominance specifically. You have had two 40-plus kill matches this season, and for those that don't know, most really good players average somewhere between 12 and 20 a match. How have you been able to be so dominant this season?
Yeah, I think it's definitely because of the people I'm surrounded by. I think my team trusts me and feeds me the ball, so I'm able to take these big rips. And then we also practice just covering and expecting the ball. So even when I do get blocked, I know that my team is going to cover the ball. So I'm still confident just taking those big swings. And I feel like it does. I do find ways to succeed just because my team allows me to do that.
You know what's so funny is I knew you were going to say your team because Pitt volleyball has been incredibly dominant the last few years. Last season, you guys made it to your fourth consecutive Final Four. After you won National Player of the Year, you said it was a team award. What about this team is so special?
Yeah, it's just our dynamic. I mean, we love each other on and off the court, and it really is like a family. And I know that these are lifelong friends that I'm going to have for many years after we're all done with our time here at Pitt. So I just feel like the bond this team has is so special. And it really doesn't feel like I'm playing with a team. It just feels like I'm playing volleyball with a bunch of my friends, which makes the sport even more fun. And I think it makes it easier for us to play for each other.
And one of the things is you guys wouldn't be as good as you were if there weren't for plenty of other players on your team, as you mentioned. Two of them were drafted last night, Bree Kelly and Brooke Mosher. You are associated, obviously, with League One volleyball. When I played, just so you know, it wasn't that long ago, but there were no professional volleyball leagues in the States. So how special is it as a player to have those options here?
I think it's amazing. I mean, it really just shows how much the sport has grown over the years. And not only do we have these two volleyball leagues, but they're actually very successful. And I feel like they also drive in really big fan bases. So it's just the fact that I think college volleyball has been able to set the tone for that, so that when these leagues join, there is so much success from the start. It just means a lot. And also just seeing how many people care about volleyball, it makes it even more fun to play the sport because you can see how many people you're inspiring and how many people want to now pursue a career in this because it's now possible.
I'm curious, in your time obviously at Pitt and playing in high school and beyond, how much have you seen the sport grow?
It has grown so much. I think in high school, it was starting to become very big. I mean, people were starting to talk about it, and I feel like that's also was a really big time for college volleyball, and everyone was watching it. But even since I got to college, our crowds from my freshman year to now, like we've sold out so many games, and I think we sold out like one or two my freshman year, but it feels like every single weekend we're just selling out. And then we also hear about how many people are watching the broadcast, and and how many kids come up to us after game and say that we inspired them. So I just feel like that growth has been so quick, but so amazing that I just feel like the sport is just constantly on an upward trajectory.
I would just like to say it's also because you guys are really good. You guys have a huge match against Louisville tomorrow, and then there's one more before Selection Sunday. We know, obviously, that your goal is to make it back to the Final Four and, of course, a championship. But what is the mindset as you go into the postseason?
Yeah, I think just taking it one day at a time. Obviously, the goal is to get to a Final Four, but you don't just get there. You do have to play all the games before and put in the work. So I feel like every single game, we're just going to play our hardest and see if we do struggle at any point, and then what we need to work on moving on to the next game, and just hopefully just constantly getting better every single day, which I think is exactly what we're doing now in season. So I think that in the postseason, we're going to continue to do that. So I think just finding ways to get better every single practice and start streaking in the tournament so that by the time the Final Four comes, we're playing the best volleyball we've played this season.
I will be there in Kansas City. I can't wait to see you guys there. Before you go, though, we have to ask you about one of your biggest fans, Tedy Bruschi. He broke down your game on Sunday NFL Countdown recently. Let's just take a look really fast.
You got it, Olivia. Fellas, let's do this. The Pitt Panther, Olivia Babcock, 6'4" right side hitter for the Pitt Panthers, the best player in the country. Look at it right there. Put it down, bounce it off the floor about 50 feet, and then her center, Mosher, puts it up off her platform, jumping from the 10-foot line, hitting over the double block. 29 kills versus Notre Dame last week. They beat him in a reverse sweep. They play Louisville today.
I freaking love that Tedy is so into volleyball. His wife is a volleyball coach, so he knows the game very well. But what did you think of his breakdown?
I thought it was so awesome. I just loved how hype he was getting. Clearly, I don't know how much he knows about volleyball, but I can see that I see that it's getting him hype, and that's all that matters.
Yeah, he's
So,
talking.
I love it.
He's talking about platforms. He knows exactly what he's talking about. I'm like, hey, okay, a
He
little
really does.
volleyball knowledge there. It's so great to see. Olivia and her Pitt Panthers will face Louisville tomorrow at 7 Eastern on ACC Network. Olivia, thank you so much for joining us. Good luck the rest of the way.
Thank you.